The truth is, Black Americans are the moral compass of that country, America, even the world. Now let's go into it. Here's the truth people rarely say out loud. Black Americans are the moral compass of the United States. Whether people admit it or not, this nation watches Black America to know what's right, what's wrong, what's just, and what's unacceptable. And deep down, America knows it, right? Every major moral issue in America, injustice, equality, truth, becomes visible only when Black Americans raise their voice. When Black America moves, the conscience of the nation wakes up. Black Americans carry a spiritual sensitivity that guides the United States. Black Americans have a unique spiritual radar, a deep intuition that senses injustice, deception, and oppression instantly. Other communities feel things late. Black Americans feel them first. This is not coincidence. This is a calling. Now let's go from slavery to segregation to civil rights to modern injustice. Black Americans have always been the mirror the country, tries to avoid. But without the mirror, America would never change. Now, let's talk about culture. When Black Americans dance, the nation celebrates. When Black Americans cry, the nation pauses. When Black Americans protest, the nation shifts. When Black Americans pray, the nation watches. Your reactions save the collective conscience. Now, let's talk about the consistency of Black Americans, right? How they've always chosen humanity over hate. Despite everything done to them, Black Americans continually choose forgiveness, compassion, unity, resilience, community, faith. The moral strength is unmatched. It's why Black people copy Black culture, why they watch Black movements, why they study Black expression, why they borrow Black language, but they rarely admit where it came from, which is very wrong. Now, whether they like it or not, Black Americans are the standards. I'm telling you, in America, Black Americans reject something, society eventually rejects it. Once they reject it, the society rejects it. When Black Americans push something, the society follows, especially the mass blackout we just talked about. Black Americans are the ones who pushed it. And now the whole society, both blacks, everybody are following. Black Americans say, this is wrong. Once they say this is wrong, the whole conversation changes. You guide the moral temperature of the nation, and you've always done that, right? Anyways, let's just watch these videos. I'll be back. Make sure to watch these videos today and kindly share them, please, and give me a subscription. Okay, let's go into it.
Black Americans are the real natives of the United States and also South America. And the red natives, they don't want to talk about it. I have seen radio silence from the red Siberian natives. You want to know why? Because the Muskogee tribe, after they lost in court to the black Muskogee, when they tried to kick out the black Muskogee, they had to admit there were black natives. Even the Cherokee are saying it, and now the Choctaw are saying it. Wait a minute, you told me there were no black natives. You said I was a pretendian. I was a long-lost African. That's what you told me. You said this shit. I heard this shit. I responded to this shit. I've had video sticks with that same bullshit message. And now all of a sudden we see that, even over in England, even over in freaking Europe, all the people over there were black. That was a perplexing discovery just made as of last month, and nobody wants to talk about it. Why? Motherfucker, why? Why don't you want to talk about the study that was done by the University of California at Riverside in conjunction with the University of Oregon with professors like Ed Booth, who discovered that, there were black people in South America. Even the Mayan language is really kind of African. Even your gods and goddesses are kind of African. You go over to Brazil, samba, go listen to samba and go listen to freaking African music. It sounds almost virtually identical. Even you go over to Mexico with the freaking merengue drums. Come on now. Pinto beans are not Mexican. Okay? Even your so-called Spanish rice is just jollof with freaking tomatoes in it. That's all it is. Yes, we've been here. We've been here for a long time. You go look up a picture of the Mission Indians of California and you tell me that's not a black tribe. Them black folks, we've been here for the longest time and it makes the most sense. What the hell do you think out of Africa means? Yes, everybody, if you trace your lineage, it goes back to Africa. That don't make you African. You don't go over to fucking Jamaica and be like, well, you know what? Hello, my fellow African. They be like, Bumba and snap the fuck out of you, and you would goddamn deserve it. No, we had our own ethnogenesis right here. Right here. There's a reason why the freaking Australian indigenous people look so black. There's a reason why so many people in freaking India look black. There's a reason why you've always found black people in freaking Egypt, South America, North America. Even Europe, as you're seeing, with all these white people, they all started off as Negroes, and yet for some reason the red natives here thought they were the fucking exception. No, you only started this bullshit in the late 70s, in the early 80s, because you got those first casinos, and you wanted to cut us out of all that goddamn money like the bastards you are. That's the truth. We are the real fucking natives, and you already said it.
Every time I talk about history, especially the ugly parts, there's always that one person in the comments like, why can't we just move on? Or, why do you hate America so much? You can just leave. And to that, I say, you don't want to move on. You just want me to stop talking. Because if we were really over it, y'all wouldn't be grilling hot dogs in the name of a war from 1776. Let's talk about this fantasy y'all have where history is just over because it's uncomfortable to hear. Y'all say we should get over slavery. But you celebrate the Revolutionary War. Every year with fireworks and beer like it happened yesterday. You say black people should stop bringing up segregation, but you'll wear a powdered wig to reenact the Boston Tea Party. You say we shouldn't dwell on the past, but you hang flags on 9/11 like a sacred ground and treat the Alamo like a church. So which is it? Is history important, or is it only important when you get to feel proud? We talk about atrocities, slavery, genocide, sterilization, internment camps, and lynchings, not because we're stuck in the past, but because the past is still shaping the present. Black neighborhoods are still underfunded. Native land is still being stolen. Prison labor is modern-day slavery. And the kids in Gaza are paying for policies that started decades before they were born. You cannot heal from a wound that you won't name. And the moment you say that was a long time ago, some law gets passed, some curriculum gets banned. And we're reminded that it's not over. It just evolved. You say, let's just celebrate the 4th of July. Cool, you're celebrating freedom. That wasn't given to everybody. You say it's just Thanksgiving. It's about being thankful. Yeah? Thankful for what? Land theft, broken treaties, smallpox blankets? You want the food, the fireworks, the flag. But not the facts. And that's the problem. The people who I'm talking to don't actually love history. They love a version of it. Cleaned up, whitewashed, and gift-wrapped in nationalism. Learning about atrocities doesn't make us angry. It makes us informed. It makes us resistant to propaganda. It helps us recognize the patterns when they try to repeat them. And it gives us a compass, so we stop walking in circles pretending that it's progress. So no, I'm not moving on, because this country hasn't. But the minute that it does, I'll be the first to light up a sparkler and sit down for a piece of pie. But until then, we're going to keep naming what they buried, because the truth doesn't expire, and freedom, it's not real if it only fits some of us.
It should be very important. And do you believe, and I feel like this does sort of bring it all together, there's a unique power to the African American voice doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that is, yes, I do. So first of all, I mean, black people, for all our oppression, for the fact that we live, at the bottom of every socioeconomic indicator in this country, despite the fact we are the most incarcerated, we are the victims of most of the violence, the segregation, et cetera, run down the line. We have, because of our struggle, deep moral valence with people. And it is a kind of power. It's not absolute power. It's not cash. It's not being a billionaire, but it is power. It is a kind of power. It is the reason why, again, why is AIPAC, for instance, reaching out to HBCUs to take people on trips to Israel? Why are they doing that? You know, if we are so powerless, like why would they? Why, like what do you need us for? You know, why did it come down so hard on certain Black people? You know, when they did not give the response that folks wanted to hear after October 7th. Why do you need more than that? And part of why you need more than that, and I will say, you know, supporters of Israel are not unique in this. People try to do this, you know, all the time in American politics. It's because the moral valence of the Black struggle is very high.
Black Americans are the original Americans. We are not descendants of enslaved people. We are the original people to this land. We are Indigenous. We are the Aboriginals. So it's time to remember who you are. The truth is coming back through genetic studies and memory. The more you dig into our true history, you discover that it has not only been whitewashed, but much of our history has been erased, not by time, but through paper, what historians call paper genocide. The 1887 Dawes Act was used to take our land, and it created colorism. The Dawes roll determined who was Indian enough, and if your skin was dark, you were reclassified as Negro, Black, colored. So the truth is coming back through genetic studies and through memory. So it is time to wake up and remember who you are.
Of moral currency that we have been using. Let me be the first to tell you, that's used up.
That's Aaron Magruder, the creator of the Boondocks. Great show. Go check it out. He's speaking in context of Black people having a certain amount of moral currency that's, as he says, is used up in reference to how we are seen in the eyes of other people, specifically white people. And let me be the first to say that moral currency is worthless and always has been to white people. Doesn't matter what we do because they don't like us. We can be the most educated or the least educated, and it will not stop them from not liking us. They didn't like us before they put us in chains. They didn't like us after they put us in chains. They didn't like us the 400 years after that. They didn't like us during the Civil War. They didn't like us after the Civil War. They didn't like us during the Reconstruction/Jim Crow era. And they damn sure didn't like us during the Civil Rights era or the crack era. And they still don't like us now. That moral currency shit doesn't matter. You could be a Wakandan. They still won't like you. These people do not like us because we are us, and they don't want to live in a world where we exist. Doesn't matter how we behave, doesn't matter what we achieve, does not matter how far we go. They will always look at us a certain kind of way. So be who you are, for better or for worse. It does not matter. And for those of you who ain't Black, don't worry about being a model minority. These white people don't give a fuck about you either. It's not about being worth something to them. It's about us being worth something to us. Y'all have a good day, though.
Hey, anyone who thrived in whiteness, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. I hope that you guys assimilated and had your little picnics and your little dinners and your little jobs and your little businesses. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. Now that it's crumbling to the ground, I hope you see that this is a Black person's world. Good luck.
When white people learn about slavery, we're usually told the part where enslaved people worked for white people. What we didn't learn was that enslavers routinely raped the people they held. And we really didn't learn that white female enslavers raped enslaved men and boys. They wanted us to see slavery through some sick rose-colored glasses. Picture a teenage boy in the big house. A white woman with complete power over him tells him what's going to happen. He can't refuse. Saying no could mean being beaten, sold, having a white woman lie that he attacked her, or worse, saying yes wasn't really a choice either. He just carried that pain in silence because nobody in that society would ever see him as a victim. We know this because scraps of the truth have survived. Testimonies, coded stories, things historians had to dig out of the shadows. Thomas Foster's Rethinking Rufus documents the sexual abuse of enslaved men. Sharon Eve's new book, Sexual Violence and American Slavery, shows that rape wasn't a side effect of slavery. It was built right into it. Vincent Woodward's book, The Delectable Negro, uncovers how desire and violence got twisted together in everyday life. And here's the cruelest part. When children were born from these assaults, the evidence was obvious, but society helped the women erase their guilt by sending them away to vacation privately elsewhere, and they completely denied the men's suffering. Enslaved men rarely spoke of it because the stigma and danger were overwhelming. But silence doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means America tried not to remember. I'm not an expert, but I'm an avid learner, and I depend on your comments to help me learn. Get curious.
This is who we've always been. The problem is that white people have their heads up their asses still. Too many of you still just don't want to accept what this is. So let me give you a history lesson of what this shithole country is. And if you don't like that, then you can ship your ass back to England with your head up your ass, because you don't actually want to hear the history of America. So let me tell you what this country is. When we as white people were too lazy to do our own jobs, we stole black people from Africa on the Middle Passage. 1.2 million died. Sharks would follow the boats, waiting for the bodies. Then we kept them as fucking animals, beat them, whipped them, put them in trees, fed them to fucking alligators, burnt down their Wall Street. Then we put Asians in internment camps. Women couldn't even fucking vote or have rights or credit or no-fault divorce until the 80s. 1860s, the Supreme Court said black people weren't even citizens. And part of this country doesn't want to fucking hear that. I'm a patriot. You're a piece of shit, is what you are. You're not a fucking patriot. You're a nationalist. You don't want to actually talk about American history. You want to talk about white history, which is why you don't want slavery in the Smithsonian, because it offends your version of American exceptionalism. We are a shithole country. We're not even the greatest country in North America. And once again, if you don't like it, ship your ass back to England.
One thing I was just talking to my mother about, she asked me how my trip was in DC for CBC, and I told her it was great. And she said to me, "What are they like down there?" And it got me thinking just how big America is and just how different pockets of Black American culture are. I had never been to DC prior to May of this year. I went to a conference. My mom's only been to DC twice. So I told her, yo, I heard go-go music for the first time, and DC is such a big music city. And she's like, what's go-go music? And I'm like, shit, you haven't heard go-go music either? My mom's born and bred Black from New York, and I am from New York. And I just never heard go-go music before. I've never been to Louisiana. I've never been to the Carolinas. I've only been to New York, Georgia, Florida, only Miami. I've been to Texas. I've been to, and then the West Coast states. But in terms of Black culture on the East Coast, I have never really experienced different types of Black culture. So DC was very cool just to experience how much they love music. Go-go music felt like a cross between like whatever Louisiana music is called and like R&B, if that makes sense. Sprinkle with a little church. But yeah, there's so many different types of Black people in this country. We're all Black American, but the cultures are so different. I was talking to people be like, yeah, I ain't got no culture. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You've never been to America. because all black people don't even know all the culture that exists here. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Have a great Friday. Bye.
As an Asian American, I'm often asked, why do I focus so much on the advocacy work of Black Americans? And it is because their advocacy work is always inclusive. The Black Civil Rights Movement did not just benefit Black people, it benefited all marginalized people, and it is the reason why I, as an Asian American, have civil rights. Also, throughout Asian American history, Black Americans have consistently held space for including us in their advocacy work. From the increase in anti-Asian violence in 2020 and 2021, to looking out for Japanese Americans during World War II. Going all the way back to 1869, when Frederick Douglass delivered a speech arguing that Chinese should be allowed to immigrate and become citizens. He didn't only want to advocate for the United States becoming a home for Black and brown people, he said, "I want the Asiatic to find a home here in the United States, and feel at home here, both for his sake and for ours. Right wrongs, no man." The voice of civilization speaks an unmistakable language against the isolation of families, nations, and races, and pleads for composite nationality as essential to her triumphs. Man is man the world over. This fact is affirmed and admitted in any effort to deny it. The sentiments we exhibit, whether love or hate, confidence or fear, respect or contempt, will always imply a like humanity. If our action shall be in accordance with the principles of justice, liberty, and perfect human equality, no eloquence can adequately portray the greatness and grandeur of the future. My granduncle, who was nicknamed Uncle Abin, was actually named Abraham Lincoln because my great-granduncle was raised in the United States and he respected President Lincoln, whom he had been taught abolished slavery. Of course, he didn't stay in the United States because of the Chinese Exclusion Act, but I have to wonder if he had known about Frederick Douglass's speech, would I instead have had an Uncle Fred? The reason why I, as an Asian American, focus so much on the advocacy work of Black Americans is because theirs is the work that I would like to model mine after.
Like Paul Mooney said, that wake-up call ain't never late. The Latinos is having it now. You saw the Latino man that got on here and said, "Oh, I ain't believe Black Americans when they said that they was profiled by the police. They must have done something. But now that it's happening to me." I'm telling you, I feel like Black Americans are the only people who have empathy. Because everything that you could possibly do to a people has been done to us. When we see something happening to y'all, we've already experienced it. Maybe it's because we've experienced everything that we have empathy. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe your wake-up call, your Latino wake-up call is happening now. Y'all Africans is gonna get one too. Y'all gonna have an African wake-up call. And you're gonna understand that everything that Black Americans have been saying is true. Because we have generational trauma from all the things that have happened to us. They say things like, "Oh, you weren't never a slave." I carry the genes of my ancestors. I carry their trauma. I carry their experience. I carry their stories with me. You don't have the connection. It's there, but you break it purposely. You sold it. And that's why you don't have the joy that we have. Because it's like the yin and the yang. If you, the unimaginable pain and suffering that Black Americans have endured, on the flip side of that is joy that you would never be able to experience. You're soulless. And I feel sorry for the other immigrants that are coming here and you're selling your soul too and you don't even know it. But you will. You're finding out now, ain't you?
And it's so unfortunate. People don't even realize when the Olympics occur, Black Americans are not just cheering for Americans. We're cheering for all of y'all. All of y'all that look like us. It does not matter what country you are from. If you are Black, we know that you have persevered in some shape or form, and we will always be there cheering you on. The hate towards Black Americans has to stop. All Black Americans ever do is reach out to Black people across the globe in order to form solidarity. We see these Black people and we know that they have at least lived a small semblance of a shared reality to ours. We want to know their lives. We want to know how their mind works. We want to know if the society that they live in is beneficial to Black people. And honestly, for the first time in a very long time, when Black Americans as a collective have reached out to another community. Being the Black Scottish, we have not been met with animosity, and they're very refreshing. And that's really all it is. Black Americans would be so nice if we're treated nicely. Y'all really need to understand, like, Black Americans are so inclusive. We're so loving. We're so empathetic. As long as you're nice to us. If we have to be an asshole, we will. But we never want to, especially not to other Black people. We want our family back, baby. We were taken forever ago. Do you not miss us? Like, we miss y'all. We've always, as Black Americans, we know there is a part of our identity that has been snatched from us. And when we see you guys, we see our history. We see our ancestors. We see our family. That's why we call you cousin. But everybody don't like us, and that's understandable, but most of you don't have a valid reason.
I will never understand the mindset of a liberal Black woman, especially the one that got sons. I'll never understand their mindset, bro. Because you expect a Black man to be traditional. I will never understand this, G. And I'm talking about the ones that live their life so goddamn free. They don't live under God. They don't live their life under God. They don't know what God looked like. They don't know what he smelled like. None. And they got all this nerve to talk about conservative values and 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 mind you, this is coming out of a mouth of a woman who raising 4 different households up under one roof. But you sitting up here complaining about Black men not being traditional. But you don't like conservative values. That does not make sense to me. What the fuck do y'all think conservative mean? A motherfucker that dressed properly? No. Conservatives live their life under God. They live their life by the book, the Bible. And if that's something you don't understand, you need a long, hard look in the goddamn mirror, bro. Like, real shit. The confusing thing is that y'all got this culture of baby mama, baby daddy shit, right? All the women got like 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, 6 kids, right? And I'm talking about the wildest ones, okay? I ain't talking about every single last one of them. I'm talking about the wildest ones, all right? The ones that think they can do whatever the fuck they want without no consequences, right? These bitches got 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, right? Taking care of 6, 7, 8 kids in one house, right? You got literally 4 or 5 different households under one roof, bitch. But you sitting up here complaining about a nigga not being a traditional man, a nigga that don't take care of his kids, a nigga that's not a man of God. You want that in your life. But you, yourself, had children before marriage. Bro, it is a reason why they say, do not have sex before marriage, not just kids. Do not have sex before marriage. Because now you got a culture, or now you got a generation of Black men. They got 5, 6 different baby mamas, right? And then, when they get 40 or 50, they find the love of their life, right? But now you can't even prioritize her. You can't even prioritize the woman that you really want in your life, because you got this bitch calling you. You got this bitch calling you. You gotta take care of these kids. You gotta get money to these kids. You gotta get money to that kid. Y'all put yourselves in this situation and then turn around and say, I want a traditional woman. No, nigga, you not a traditional man. You out here fucking anything that move. You out here having babies with every relationship you get into. And then when it comes down the line, you actually found the woman of your dreams. She don't even want you no more. Same with the women. Y'all out here popping these babies out without marriage. Y'all out here popping these babies out, expecting a man to come around and take care of y'all motherfucking kids y'all got like fucked up. How about you actually understand what the fucking conservative value is? How about instead of y'all judging people because y'all think they racist, and y'all only think conservative people are racist because what y'all were told growing up. Y'all know nothing about these people. Y'all know nothing about politics. Y'all know nothing about religion. Y'all know nothing about shit. Y'all literally just be running y'all goddamn mouth. Y'all literally cause the problems y'all complain about. Y'all cause the problems y'all complain about. It's literal wars on TikTok between Black people, Black women, and Black men. You know why? Because neither one of them understand conservative values. And then y'all want motherfuckers to feel sorry for you? No. Bitch, you open your motherfucking legs, have them kids. Ain't nobody tell you to have them kids before marriage. Nigga, you the one that started to have all these motherfucking baby mamas thinking you can just pop them out without marriage. Y'all cause your own problems. Y'all motherfucking family trees look like motherfucking spider webs. Get y'all shit together. And then what y'all do with y'all kids is even more wilder, G. Y'all allow y'all daughters to sing sexy red songs out in public, bro. I was just outside with my daughter, G, and she was like linking up with some girls that stayed down the block, you know what I'm saying? Little girls, they 5, 6, 7, 8, couldn't be no more than 9 years old, bro. About 6 of them outside, G, and they all in sync singing a sexy red song. My daughter over there looking at their ass like, you bet not. You bet not. Y'all allow this shit to happen. Y'all allow y'all little sons, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, throw up gang signs and think that shit cute. Y'all actively put them in a line of war, G, before they even turn 10, bro. Before they even hit double digits. Y'all putting targets on y'all own children's backs. Cause y'all think it's cute. And then y'all want to sit up here and complain about the gun violence, about us killing each other. But when motherfucking Donald Trump want to send up the goddamn National Guard to Chicago, then that's when it's no, we don't need help. No. Nigga, my daughter's grandmother was shot cold blood, bro. Died. And they still haven't found the killer. And it's still going on till this day. Motherfuckers die in that city every day. And we the ones that keep saying stop the violence. We are the ones that keep saying, I don't want to go outside. Why the fuck do y'all think every black man in the city of Chicago feel the need to walk outside with a motherfucking gun, bro? Y'all promote this shit. Y'all promote it in music. Y'all promote it in movies. The black classics. All of that shit destroyed us. And now y'all want to sit up here and get mad at another motherfucking race for pointing it out? That's y'all fault. Start teaching y'all sons to be traditional men. Start teaching y'all daughters to be traditional women. Y'all causing this fucking problem. It ain't white people. White people ain't out here motherfucking teaching they kids sexy red songs, having them. What the fuck is y'all doing? Fuck y'all thinking, bro? That shit ain't moral. It ain't cool. Y'all exposing shit to children that don't need to be exposed to children. And wonder why they growing up with the YN culture. They going in churches, shooting up churches. But when a motherfucker complain about it, then that's when we get mad at them. Oh, no, black people ain't bad. Black people ain't do that. Black people ain't do shit. But then turn around the next day, a nigga in your family gets shot. Oh, they killed my baby. These niggas killed my baby. Delusional. It gets worse. It gets worse. These people actually believe because you're black, you can't be successful. These people actually believe when you walk the fuck outside, the world is against you. I wish I would teach my children that shit. These people believe every single white person that they see hate them. These people believe everything is about race. How about we focus on ourselves first? It's like y'all asking everybody else for help in the black community, but y'all can't see what the fuck we doing. It's called accountability, motherfucker, and I swear to God, y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this shit. I don't give a fuck. It's the truth. I'm tired of this shit. Y'all arguing on the motherfucking internet. Because y'all don't understand conservative values. You don't understand that you're not supposed to have children before marriage. You don't understand you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. You don't understand that you are supposed to live your life under God if you want to be successful. If you want to keep the hate out your motherfucking heart, live your life under God. I'm not even a religious person, bro. But from what's going on in this country right now, y'all niggas need help. Like mental help. Y'all laughing at niggas getting shot in the neck, bro. That's demonic as fuck. Then sit up and say he deserved it because he had an opinion. Bitch, you got one too. You got an opinion too. You want to be next? No, you don't. So be careful. Y'all literally mad at a group of people that want better for everybody. You motherfuckers are destroying the planet. Not just America, the planet. All the motherfucking NGOs that we was sending our taxpayer dollars to overseas, thinking that we helping motherfuckers overseas. Meanwhile, there's some Epstein shit going on we don't even motherfucking know about that we funding. This shit is demonic. And y'all actually believe that shit. Y'all do realize that the devil is the deceiver of all deceivers. Wake the fuck up. I'm sorry, y'all, but from all this shit that I've been seeing, bro, the Charlie Kirk death, y'all can't shut me up. Y'all ain't finna silence me. Y'all ain't finna scare me. None of that shit. Y'all got like fucked up. Y'all got God fucked up. Excuse my language, but God knows his daughter.
So I've been noticing this trend on TikTok where you have mostly black Americans asking the ethos, why do you hate us? We have done nothing to you, so why is the world so against us? And as a 32-year-old who has lived in 5 states and 3 different countries, let me give you my perspective. The world uses power dynamics against black people because they depend on us. And without our exploitation, the world economy would collapse. Yeah, I said it. And let me explain to you what I mean. There would be no United States. There would be no South America almost entirely, especially Brazil. No Caribbean. And a large part of Central America without the exploitation of black people due to slavery and building these countries for free. For the people going, well, that was in the past. Let's talk about the present. Because black labor is still exploited in order for economic growth. Nationally, here in the United States, but also internationally, think of how many European countries, companies, what have you, that exploit and take resources out of sub-Saharan Africa for our phones, our computers, car batteries. And I said European, but also American, Japanese, Chinese, what have you. The world is so dependent on the exploitation of black people, it needs to use continuous power dynamics to keep us in place and to keep us in fear. Because if we realize just how much power we have, if we started bonding together and basically being like, no, you're not going to exploit us anymore, the world economy would be in trouble. They can't have that. And there is a connection between imperialism, colonization, Western imperialism, anti-blackness, and white supremacy. All of which are power dynamics that keep black people in the United States and around the world under control and in a systematic bind. So that was one. Let's talk about the other thing. Fear of revenge. If you ask many people around the world, would you want to be a black person? They automatically are going to be like, no. Because they know all over the world black people are disliked and targeted. And the reason they also say no is because they know horrible things have happened to black people and continue to happen to black people. And after all of that discrimination, all of that prejudice, all of that death, they are afraid that we will do the same thing to them if we have the power to do so. I heard someone say once that the United States is lucky that black Americans want equality and not revenge, because God knows they deserve revenge after everything that has been done to them. And that is what scares people. It's all about power dynamics and making sure that black people are kept within a strict, very controlled dynamic. Because if we realized how much power we have to control the world economy and to stop being exploited, the world will be in big trouble. And that is very scary for some of the world's most powerful people. So they manipulate using power dynamics toward the rest of the population. Anyway, that's my take. See you later.
So y'all can tell me if it's just me, but I just been feeling like this entire year I've been finding out that literally everybody hates black Americans, even black people all around the world. And no shade, that's probably why our ancestors said all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But at the same time, I feel like the way that people feel about us is the way they should actually feel about white people. Because we didn't do anything to you. We didn't do shit to you. But white people is letting you know they don't fucking like you and they don't want you in their country. That you're mad at us. You got the hostility with us. And I'm gonna be honest, it makes me feel sad, but at the same time, it makes me feel very powerful because I'm like, yeah, they were able to successfully scapegoat us, but it gotta be something deeper. It honestly makes me feel like my people is like actually very powerful in many ways, and we may not be aware of it right now, but when we wake up to it and we tap into it, the world is gonna have a rude fucking awakening.
Welcome back. I will be very, very fast with this closing point. Now, I want to speak to Black America. Black America, hear me. You're not just influencers. You're not just culture makers. You're not just survivors. You are the conscience of America. the moral compass, the spiritual guide, the heartbeat that keeps America human. And the day Americans fully understand the role is the day the nation will never be the same. The day they recognize your strength, it changes. Everything comes back to normal. Let me just stop here. I'll go and take a rest, right? Make sure to subscribe, like, share, right? And then tell me how you like these videos. And then it will encourage me to do more. But if you don't, I'll feel, okay, maybe you guys don't like it, and then I'll stop, right? But of course, I love you all, and I'll always make you all happy. My name is Blessing, or BJ on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Signing out. Bye, guys.